I will give you some combat tips for War Conqueror 4. The starting point is really technology, and even a starting point of that is to get a couple of wonders, particularly the Brandenburg Gate, that reduce the cost of upgrading artillery technology by 10%. You need to complete the Battle of Kursk, Scenario 5 Allied, to unlock this. And the other one is the Alhambra, 10% reduction in upgrading armor technology. For this one, you need to complete the 1950 Conquest in less than 65 turns. So you need to get the score, the rating to unlock this wonder. Once you do that, then go to the technology tree. You may not want to wait because you don't unlock these wonders right away. So you can start upgrading technology, but with the 2 wonders, you will reduce the resource you spend. And really in the technology tree, focus unlocking tanks and artillery. Navy, infantry, air force, later on, it's not a priority. I want to point out a couple of skills very useful to get in combat. First of all, the machine gun, increase the damage to infantry units. I say this because one of the important combat tips is that whenever you have a unit, attack the one you give the highest damage. So if you have a tank and you have a machine gun, then you can attack infantry units and you will deploy a much bigger damage. Okay, the other skill is always in verdigris, so in this case is the air defense. It reduces the damage of any attack by the air, airplane, bombs, strategic bombing, and so forth. Okay, and then here we have additional damage to infantry units, so 10% more damage. This is similar, reduce damage from the air, but this is the one. This is the most important, the assault. At the first level 1 is a 75% chance to attack again after you destroy the enemy. But of course, you need to go for the assault level 2, 100% chance. This is the most important skill of the game. When you do that, your tank becomes an invincible machine. In one round, you can kill 3, 4, 5 enemies. And then it's very important to think about the order of the attacks. Okay, because you always want to give the fatal blow to the enemy so you get to shoot again. Okay, and then you have the nuclear bomb damage. Is not very important to have. The other skills still amplify your defense, your HP, your health, your attack, and the speed. So also important. Get your tanks in killing machines. Tank is the most important unit in the game. Likewise, artillery, second most important unit. What do we have? The key skill for artillery is not having the enemy fight back. So for just a simple artillery, 65% chance from fighting back. And then later on you have the gold, which is 80%. And that's it. For rocket artillery, likewise, you have the first level allow you to hit multiple enemy forces in one shot, which is very useful, and 80% chance that they don't fight back. And then with the rocket artillery level 2 is fantastic. You attack multiple forces and 100% they will not fight back. So use the rocket artillery, particularly against enemy artillery or heavy tanks, which they will not be able to fight back. Some combat tips in action. First of all, order of attack. Okay, so you have here these enemies, a very strong defense line. So what I'll do, first I put my rocket artillery in place. Ideally, I would have to hit in the middle to multiply the targets. But I'm gonna target the medium tank because it's the most threatening unit I need to fight. Check the health, 129, the heavy tank. So 129 I should be able to do, 115 I should be able to do. Remember, the unit at the beginning of the mission has low experience. With a few hits, the firepower will increase with experience. But first, let me also use the artillery against another light tank, 73. And now what I'll do, first I go for the light tank, done. Then I'll go for the infantry, because I knew I wouldn't be able to kill it. 115 also I can, so I do it. Now I wouldn't mind to do also the land fort. 111 it's a bit risky, so I will soften it up and polish it. And I'm left with a medium tank. I have no other targets to hit with Guderian. So even I don't finish it, no problem, but I did finish it. Okay, to reduce the enemy morale, we have a few tactics. First, if any of the general has a rumor, like Guderian here, you can see that's rumor, 75% chance to reduce the morale of the enemy when attacking, once it's maximized, then it will be the first to attack. But even before that, ideally you would like to surround the enemy to reduce the morale. Okay, so now Chuikov is fully surrounded by his allies, so first I will have to get rid of this rocket artillery to do that. Okay, so I will clear it. Now I will position one of my soldiers. See, now the morale is down one notch. Then I will send Conqueror, there's rumor, and now is one morale down. Now let's try with Guderian, 2 morale down. Okay? Unfortunately, I don't have other general with rumor, but I can still hit him because it's really at a low strength, and now I can finish him off with my medium tank. Then I can finish off also this artillery, and I have one shot. Now another way we can do this to block an enemy and hit the morale. So if the enemy is in their territory, we can send a paratrooper. I can send it here, you see, and the morale now of this unit is decreased by 1. Of course, I wouldn't have done it for a light tank, but I would do it for a nasty enemy general. Okay, that's especially in modern war, it's critical to immobilize this enemy general. If instead you have an enemy in your territory, now I don't have it here, one way you can do, you can just build a bunker. Bunker costs $100. So you create a bunker here, and maybe another there. No, I don't have money, okay, but assume this is a bunker, and you sandwich the enemy, and you reduce their morale. Also, the enemy is attracted by fortresses, so they will shoot at your fortress instead of yourself. Other thing we need to pay attention is the terrain. See, for example, this one is a forest. Forest reduce the power of the armors 10% and artillery 20. Okay, so try to avoid them. On the other side, these tiles produce income, so if you step on an enemy tile, like this one, you will steal $12 from the enemy. There are the mountains, for example, they have also a different, they penalize armors. Also, some units are unable to cross certain mountains, so you have to be careful about the terrain. The other advice, I just quickly swiped it, is listen to look at what the generals say in this dialog box. They often contain a useful hint. So, we're talking about the special units, damage to stronghold, but also damage from land miles -90. You see, I put it on the mines, only 5 units, health units lost, but then no mines, so it's convenient for the others. Okay, then I want to quickly demonstrate something. So I want to conquer here. First of all, I want to see my paratrooper range. Okay, it's in range. Now, Guderian can have 2 shots. In order to get 2 shots, you see this red rectangular line. That's the fortress. I need to bring this fortress down. Let's see if I can send some tanks into this one. And you see now the red bar is slightly black. Get on their land. Now I destroy the units, so now I get another shot with the tank. and now I can send Guderian. What I'll do, I'll send it here, because you see, look how many targets I can hit. First, destroy the city. Then, I'll take it with my paratroop. I could have even done it from this city, by the way, but it's cooler to show you. And again, the order, I check every unit, and I know, for example, that the tank is extra strength against infantry. I know I will always kill the infantry in one shot, especially now. You see my experience, I have 1 star, because I've already killed a lot of units, so my power is increased. I think I can do also the armor car. Oh, that was close. The fourth I may not be able to finish. In fact, 2 other comments I want to share. First is know your troops and know your generals. What do I mean? So I just demonstrated, for example, if you have mechanized infantry, you know that you should use them to remove landmines or to attack fortresses. For the motorized infantry, instead they are very fast and they're a plus against armor units. When you send them, you see they are stronger than a tank, for example. Rocket artillery, able to attack multiple enemy and 100% chance that they don't fight back, because we have unlocked the skills. So in this case, you see, I hit these 2 tanks and don't fight me back. If I have a medium tank, I have the chance to attack again, and also the damage of the infantry unit. That applies to every single tank unit. But then, important to know your generals as well. You can change, there are some empty slot for the skill, you can fill it. I gave him rumor and machinist, so he resupplies 15 HP every turn. And then he has accuracy, so very strong on an artillery. Raider, which is when in commanding infantry, not useful. An artillery leader, 60% chance to give the enemy a fatal blow. Is 60 and is in green because it's amplified with the Empire Medal. It boosts the artillery leader score by 50%. So then I know he's just strong in artillery. But if I look at Zhukov, he has explosive. So he has a bonus when attacking stronghold. Knowing that, if I need to shoot a fortress, I will prioritize Zhukov over Konev, because Zhukov will have this bonus against the stronghold. If I look at my tanks, if I look at Guderian, I have rumor, so he will go first to neutralize the enemy. He has crowd tactics, so if I attack close by to allies, I will improve also their hit rate. And then a blitzkrieg, the enemy will not fight back, a 60% chance. Panzer leader, fatal blows. And armored assault, extra % damage when you are commanding in armor. Okay, so basically, knowing that, I will change my strategy with Guderian slightly. As I said, particularly for what concerns rumor. Wise, when we are in navy fights, see again, know your units. In this case, I have a submarine. Submarine damage 100% cruisers and aircraft, so I should focus on them. And then an enemy will not fight back, except for coastal artillery. Okay, so if I put my submarine here, I will be bombed by this fort, so not a good idea. I redo. So I need to just be careful. But if I put it here, I will not be bombed by this artillery. But unfortunately here, I will not leverage my bonus because this is just a destroyer. So 76, not great. But if I were to use, let's use another faster. Okay, I cannot reach it now for limits, we'll demonstrate later. Then if I have a cruiser, what are the bonuses? Damages to stronghold units and land units. And we have air defenses. Okay, so in this case, I will use it. Let's see if I have another navy units here. Because of the bonus, I will target here, and cruisers are great, particularly against the coastal artillery. If I go to destroyer, what are the benefits? Bonus against submarines, okay? And then it's good to sap the mines and strongholds. Okay? So then there are no submarines in the distance. And again, I practice the surrendering. So now double whammy, but then I will not hit the destroyer because I'm from close range. They will fight back against the cruisers. So if I want to use in a aircraft carrier, I have a bomber damage plus 50, air defense, and able to attack by aircraft. Okay. That's a basic. So if I want to shoot it, I'm not going to hit the cruiser, which has the air defense. I will target submarines and destroyers. So, see, 99 hit. And then the other thing I wanted to share is always target, when possible, to attack land units in the sea. It's such a party because they are defenseless. You see, these guys over here. For demonstration, let's bring down the aircraft carrier. See, 140 damage. So whenever you, especially in modern war, you have a couple of missions where the nasty super duper generals are in the sea, then unleash hell on them. It's really worth it. Also using your airport. Anyway, whenever you have a city which has the airplane symbol, you can use it to launch air attacks. Now this is an enemy city, so I cannot demonstrate, but it is. And again, same as I said before, know your generals. So on Donitz, I gave it rumor and sailor. And so if I hit this destroyer, I know I will paralyze it, although not very interesting. But because of the submarine, I have a bonus against the cruiser. I should target them. Yeah, these cruisers are covered by landmines, so I will use also the destroyers to clear some mines and open a corridor for me to enter and then hit them. So this is pretty much it. The last tip I want to give is for the fortress mode. So in frontier mode, your goal is to destroy, most often the target is to destroy the fortresses, like this one. Okay? So this is a large fortress, 4,500. The fortress has some defense level. For large fortress, the first 2 shots will bring down the first level of defenses. Then the next 2 shots will bring the second down, and then you will do more damage. So the tip is to always attack the fortress first with your weak units. In this case, it's an infantry, minor damage. Then the next one will be the aircraft. But now I reduce 1 level of the fortress, so I can give it more damage. See now 186, and if I could surround the fortress with friendly units, then I will lower 1 more level. Unfortunately, with the large fortress, with this type of units and defenses, I couldn't do more. But very useful because a frontier mode can be very tough. Here I am at Iron Glory level 2. And so really maximize the output against fortress, which can mean victory or failure. Great, this is all the combat tips I had in mind to share with you. If you have another combat tips, add it to the comments so that we can contribute to the knowledge of this great game. Take care now.